guys, I am here with a very large book haul. A very large book haul. I filmed this on Sunday and it was just a disaster. I uploaded it and it was up for maybe no more than 10 minutes, and I deleted it because YouTube decided to pick the most unfortunate thumbnail for the video. And I have a level of lazy in my life that I didn't want to get out a computer to actually go and get another thumbnail. So let's try it again. I have books from Thrift Books, one from Abe Books, and a bunch from my local used bookstore. They just reopened in May. I went later in May, which apparently they had opened like weeks before that, and I didn't know. So I thought, oh, I'm getting in early. It's a very small bookstore. There were only two other people in there, and the owner. So like four people in this whole store. We were all we were all wearing masks, distancing. Like I didn't get close to anybody. And then they had a tent sale on Friday and Saturday of last week. I went on Friday. They were doing fill a grocery bag for $2.50. The only requirement was that you had to be able to tie it at the top. And being that it's $2.50 for a bag of books, you can tell by that cost the quality of the books. And I will tell you now that they're trash. Like, they're trash. And if I decide that I change my mind, I'll throw some of them in a little free library or just donate them to the library for their book sales. Or they may just go to Goodwill. I mean, I'm not out a bunch. I'll show those to you later. But the first one I got is, if it's on the bottom of my stack, I'm not going to dig it out. I've lost it. No, I haven't lost it. It's Bound to the Fire, How Virginia's Enslaved Cooks Helped Invent American Cuisine. She's short. She's only 140 pages. Started her last Monday? Early last week. Read 32 pages, and it was bedtime, so I was tired. And I haven't picked it up yet because I am squirrely. I'm in one of those, like, anxious, like, something's going to happen. Something's going down. Like, if anybody can relate, let me know. Like, this is not calming down. That one was the one from Abe Books, if I didn't tell you. I had it on my wish list on Amazon and actually found it cheaper there by a couple of dollars. And it's one of those, it's like the University Press of Kentucky. And you're not going to find it at the library. You're not going to find it at a used bookstore. So I went ahead and bought it. And I'll have to ask my friend if she's interested in reading it to pass it along. Or I may just keep it. Like, there are some that if I really like it, they go on my shelf and don't go anywhere. It's very rare that I will keep a book. And if you ever see a bookshelf, I can guarantee you that there may be a handful that I've actually read. Let's see. I think I've read 4 off of this one. And I put them like on the bottom. So, cool. And then the Thrift Books were prompted by a post. I'm pretty sure it was a post on Instagram that somebody had like summer reading, and they were, they had like a brightly colored Jackie Collins novel and like a mixed drink or something. It was like beach reads, and I was like, oh man, I haven't thought about those in forever. I know I read a couple of the kind of in the middle of the Lucky Santangelo series in either high school or college. It's been forever ago that I don't remember because I am pushing 40. And don't think that I ever read the first one. So I just went ahead and went to the used bookstore. I was like, hey, let me see what I can find. I only found 2 of them. And the rest came from Thrift Books. So we have the very first, Delightful Chances by Jackie Collins. She is not known for, fine literature by any means, but she knew how to write a book that you couldn't put down. Granted, I've been reading it for a month, but again, squirrel. I have about this much left, so perhaps I will finish it. And yes, I am that person that I am reading the ebook from the library. Yeah, I'm guilty. And then keeping track in my paperback. But I will keep the series. So there's that. Then the next one I'm not too thrilled about, but it's intact. It's perfectly fine. It's readable, and the library has it. So come on, the ebook. Lucky. No dust jacket, but it's, again, perfectly fine. This one is delightful. Lady Boss. Come on. How classic. Like, I'm pretty sure this was early 80s, if not late 70s. That can't be right. And if it is right, she took a while to get to the next book in the series. Supposedly it's 1990, but somehow, like, I'm in denial thinking that this is older than that. Because Chances was first printing of March 1981. So, if so, there was a gap. Which is perfectly fine. It happens. And then we have Vendetta, Lucky's Revenge, which, yes, I have 2 copies. Apparently, Thrift Books tripped me out, and they were like, hey, you left this in your cart when this one was on the way, or this one was on the way. And so I thought, oh, I forgot to order that one book. So, whatever I'm in the mood for, I have both formats. Dangerous Kiss, Drop Dead Beautiful, Goddess of Vengeance, which, not that one, but I think I lucked out and got a UK copy. Confessions of a Wild Child. I can't tell you if this is a Barnes & Noble or Borders sticker. Like, it makes me think that it was Borders, but I could be wrong. And then the last one is the Santangelo's The Final Chapter. This is one that's a UK copy. I'm not sure if this one was published posthumously. No, I don't think so. And then I got these 3 standalones. From some indie press, I'm assuming. Love Killers and Sinners. I've never seen indie press of Jackie Collins. That's pretty cool. And Poor Little Girl. I'll be nice and not do that in case it decides to be the thumbnail. And then I also ordered another series of hers. I think there are only 5. If I happen to find the others in the stack, I will. But it was Hollywood Wives, Hollywood Husbands, Hollywood Divorces, Hollywood Wives, The New Generation, and Hollywood Kids. Those are not in order. I was apparently not thinking about those and didn't put them in order. And then the rest are used bookstore. Couple of those were used bookstore. And then I have The Cafe by the Sea by Jenny Colgan and Christmas at Rosie Hopkins Sweet Shop. I read, what was that? Last summer this time. Little Beach Street Bakery, and it was very cute. And I have Christmas at Little Beach Street Bakery and Summer at Little Beach Street Bakery on my book cart that you're propped on. And then these are the high quality tent sale books. I won't spend a lot of time on them because you'll see. And I'll let you know the book that I'll be like really quick showing it to you. The book that YouTube decided to put as my thumbnail, and you'll know the reason why I decided to delete my video, because ew. We have Blood of Roses by Marcia Canham. I'm not going to say Canham. It's a Scottish historical romance set in 1745. So it's kind of a chub. It's not bad. It's right at 599 pages. So it has been taped, which I just realized as many times as I've handled this because the cover came off, but it's still readable. We have Kate Remembered. I thought I had a copy of this, but it may just be I saw it so many times at both used bookstores that I go to that I think that I bought it and I didn't. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't have it. Jackie, here's Joan, her sister, Past Imperfect, Joan Collins. Her autobiography, self-explanatory. This one was early 80s, I do believe. Oh, no, 1978. So we have her. We have Silent Honor by Danielle Steel. Yes, Danielle Steel, because I used to be absolute trash for her historicals back in the late 80s. Late 80s. Yes, in the late 80s, I was 8 and I would have, or 7, and I would have been reading Danielle Steel. See, I told you, squirrel. No, in the late 90s, early 2000s. Loved her historicals. I never really liked her contemporaries because they all were the same, basically. I looked for more to get her historicals, but this was all they had at the sale. This is the one I'm going to peek up and pull down. This was a joke. I was going to give it to my mother-in-law for her birthday and wrap it as a present. And I thought, no, that's awful of you. Don't do that to her. I told her about it thereafter, and she kind of just snarked at me. But Free to Love by Ivana Trump. That's as much as you're going to see of it. Again, these were all 20 cents. I got 2 bags of total of 24. So we'll just say it was 20 cents a piece. And, you know, this was after she divorced, so I may read it just for giggles, but I'm not going to say it's a Pulitzer. Then we have, my mother used to love Janelle Taylor. I would go through her books and she would have just a bunch of these. They're just well, she liked the historicals. These are, I'm wanting to say futuristic, which is probably why I never read them because I'm not much into futuristic, but for 20 cents. We have Magic and Moonbeams and Stardust and Shadows. And then just one historical, Wild Is My Love. I would be more inclined to read this one. And then this one was an absolute joke. Night of a Trillion Stars by Dara Joy. I used to see this all the time at the used bookstore I went to in high school. And I'd pull it off and I'd kind of snicker at it and then put it back because I knew it said it was a futuristic romance. And this one just sounds like a hoot. I joked with my husband and said, I think we need to read a chapter of this every night before bed because the hero of the story, his name is Lorgan, which is so glottal and unattractive and unappealing sounding. I mean, but apparently he is an alien that looks like a buff knockoff of Fabio in his prime. It's not Fabio. I promise it's not. And then I'll try to go through the last of these very quickly. We have Bipole by Frederick Pohl. I gathered that it was called Bipole because it's 2 books in one. We went on a weird tent sale binge of sci-fi, like old 1950s and 60s sci-fi last year. So I thought, throw in the bag. So we have that one. We have The Wanderer by Fritz Leiber. The only reason, honestly, I put this one in the bag is because there's a cat on the cover, kind of creepy, and a cat on the back. So I'm kind of curious, who is this cat? What is your purpose? Then we have Lady Wildcat by June Lund Shiplet. Historical romance. We have this one my husband picked up, and it actually sounds, and it's supposed to be funny. So it's Namarama by Philip Jennings. Apparently it is What would happen when the president asks two heroic but unpredictable Marines to visit Hanoi and end the war with the help of a buxom Hollywood starlet? Okay. We have Portraits by Cynthia Freeman. Pretty much just a family saga of American dreams come true. We have a copy of Middlemarch, which I was going to get one, and I'm glad that I didn't because 20 cents. It was an old library copy, but I'm totally cool with that because it's perfect. I mean, I say perfect, but it's intact. Marco Polo by Keith Miles. Apparently this was an NBC TV miniseries I was not aware of because I was probably knee-high to a grasshopper. April 1982 is when this was published, so I'm assuming I was maybe 1 or 2 when they did the miniseries thereafter. The Confessions of Nat Turner by William Styron. I was actually surprised to find this in, the tent sale. Sahara by Clive Cussler, which I sat and looked at, and I actually said to my husband, I'm trying to figure out why Abraham Lincoln is on a book called Sahara, and he's like, you don't know? No, he's like, there was a movie. It's a Civil War ship in the Sahara Desert. I was like, well, I don't need to read it now. I will. Then we have Daddy by Luke Durand. Apparently this one is a $350 million fortune the Nazis have hidden, and the only one that knows where it is a little boy and his son or a little boy and his father that's like an SS officer. So it was one of those I threw in. Savages by Shirley Conran. This one was kind of along the lines of Jackie Collins and the 1980s trash. It's a bunch of socialites who find themselves on a remote South Sea island and are thrust into adventure. The Far Pavilions, which honestly I got it because it said a towering novel of love and war, now a spectacular HBO miniseries. Have never heard of this, but let me tell you, it's beastly. It's 1,189 pages. It's beastly. Apparently it is a historical set in the exotic East, mainly in India. So I don't know when I'll read that, but it will take a while. And then the last two, we have Autobiography of Alice B. Toklas by Gertrude Stein. Again, this is one I was surprised they had in the sale. I've never read it. And then the last one is just this cute little crumb cake of a book that's falling apart that I'm going to have to probably find another copy of to actually read because I'm almost afraid to hold it. But it is My Sister Eileen by Ruth McKinney. And it's, I'm sure anybody is looking at it going, what's so special? I just thought it was the cutest, tiny little crumb cake of a book. And apparently it was also a movie with Rosalind Russell, who is the actress who played Auntie Mame in said film, which is one of my most favorite movies of all times. So, yeah, she's gonna need a little help. But it was too darling. That's all my books. I'm at 19 minutes, so I will stop this and upload it. And I would ask if anyone has read any of these, but beyond the Jackie Collins and maybe the Clive Cussler, they're all pretty obscure unknowns. So there may be people out there that like that kind of thing. Unknown books, give you some ideas. But yeah, I'm gonna plan on hunkering down with the Jackie Collins and hopefully finishing it this afternoon before dinner. So yeah, I thought about doing the summer school reading challenge that Doris Valdi Books is doing, but I kind of stopped myself because I went don't kid yourself because you just won't do it. Like, seriously, I'm one of those people that once I make a TBR and a set list, all fun is out the window. Like, it feels like assigned reading. I read for pleasure. I'm a mood reader, so I can't do that to myself. I'm absolutely tickled with the people that are doing it, and I've been watching all the videos and the TBRs, and I actually have like, hey, I've never seen that. That's a good book. I'll maybe look for it at the library, but nah. My summer school readathon will be recess. All my books are recess, so I could do that. I'll be like, all my subjects are recess. But that's it. I don't have anything else to say other than I have way too many books and I have way too many books to read. So the longer I talk, it's the more I'm not reading. So I'll try to make another video soon. Oh, that's my Asian readathon pile or stack. I think I read 5. I really need to do just a separate video, like a wrap up. Maybe I'll do a mid-year showing, I'd say everything I've read so far, but maybe the highlights because I think I'm at 152 for the year so far. Yeah. So maybe I'll do like, hey, mid-year, this is how many I've read, and these are a couple of my top favorites and some stinkers, and then maybe some in-betweens. Definitely won't tell you all 152, but maybe. But anyways, this is forever long, and I highly doubt anybody has gotten to this point. And if you have, leave me the cat emoji in the comments. I know people do that, but bye for now. Bye.